Working with clients. How do you do it? What do you do? When do you do it? How does it all happen? So how do you work with clients in a way that will make them love you and subsequently help you grow your business? So, a satisfied customer is the best business strategy of all. And that is absolutely true. If your customer loves you and the way you work with them, they will spread the word, they will refer you to their friends, and they will continue wanting to work with you. It is so much cheaper to continue working with your current clients than it is to get new ones, right? Oh, there's Pam. Hey, Pam. We're just talking about, and Hannah. Hey, Pam. Hey, Hannah. So good to have you guys here. So we're talking about working with clients in a way that makes them love you and that helps you to grow your business. So this is what we're going to cover real quick. We're going to be covering how to onboard new clients. So this is the beginning of your working relationship, and you want to make sure that you start off on the right foot. So we're going to be covering contracts, invoices, welcome packs, planning calls, and project management. Just going to really do a little overview of how to best bring a client into your business so that you're set up properly to continue working in the right way with them. So we're going to talk about how, like, doing the tasks in a way that makes them love you. How do you take on tasks? And how do you take them on in the right way so that you're actually achieving what they want you to achieve? We're going to be talking about how to be a great person to work with. And this is just for anyone, virtual assistant or not, how to be awesome to work with, okay? We're also going to be covering essential tools every virtual assistant needs to run your business and work with your clients. And we're also going to be talking about how to leverage your current clients to grow. And this will include how to get testimonials, how to form case studies, and how to ask for referrals. If you have any questions along the way or any comments, feel free to add them to the chat and I will address them on the spot. So, client onboarding. So what is that? What is client onboarding? So that is taking your client from point A to B. So you've had a discovery call with them and they're excited and they have so much they want to hand off and they're so overwhelmed. And on the discovery call, they've discovered that you're the person who's probably the best to help them. So how do you go from someone who's just come off a discovery call and turn them into a client and set up in your systems and they're raring to go to start working with you? How do you do that? So here's a little kind of a workflow, 6 little steps that you can take to get them from discovery call to client fully set up in your systems, ready to get to work. So you've had your discovery call. What's the next step? So discovery call is when you do kind of like a quick little call to see if you would be a good fit with them, to see if you can manage their tasks, and basically to see if your personalities fit. And it'll help your client see whether you're the right person to hire. Okay, so once you've had your discovery call, and Christina, that's what you had this morning, wasn't it? It was a discovery call of sorts. So you'll send them a follow-up email. Yeah. Send a follow-up email, okay? Always send up a follow-up email after you do your discovery call because you really want to stay in top of their mind, okay? And thank them for their time on the phone, outline what you guys discussed, clarify next steps if they want to move forward. So if they want to move forward with you, what do they need to do to make that happen? So typically you'd send a contract and an invoice. Again, Christina, we talked about also potentially sending a proposal, but I'm not talking about proposals just yet. For the purpose of this module, we're just going to assume like the contract has all the necessary information that a proposal would have. So you'd send a contract, and then so basically you're sending a follow-up email to just close off that conversation and tell them their next steps. So assuming they are happy with your discussion with them and they're happy with your rates and the scope of the work, the next step would be to send them a contract. Okay? So you'll send them a contract, you'll get that back and signed, and once you've got that, you can go ahead and send them an invoice, send them a welcome pack, which I'll talk about what that is, and you can also set up your first planning call. So this could be all in one email, okay, after you receive the contract. This is the email that's going to really kick things off. And once the invoice is paid, so we're going to talk about where to take the contracts from, Christina. So you send the invoice, you send the welcome pack, you organize your first planning call, and you guys are raring to go. Make sure that before you do anything, in most cases, a lot of VAs ask for payment upfront. We ask for payment upfront. I don't know if one of you guys has ever worked with a client where you ask for payment upfront, but we always ask for payment upfront. So once the invoice is paid, we will then add the client to our project management software, and we use Asana. A lot of people use Trello. We'll add them to our time tracking tool, which is, we use Toggle, but there's other ones as well, like Harvest, so we can track our time on their projects. And we'll also add them to our password sharing tool. So if any of your tasks will require you to access any of their accounts, like their email accounts, their email marketing system accounts, their website accounts, they'll probably want to protect their passwords and share them with you through a tool called something like LastPass or 1Password, where the passwords are shared, but they're not made visible to you. Yes, Christina, you asked for upfront payment this morning, and you would always like to ask for it. I would always recommend you ask for upfront payment. Absolutely. So contracts, Christina. You asked about where do you get a contract from. So a contract is going to be one of the first things that you said to your client. And we talked about contracts with Christina Scalera. I don't know if you were on that call, but we've got the training recorded and it's in the learning portal as well. So she talks about contracts, what needs to go in a contract, why you need contracts, all that good stuff. So if you've worked as a virtual assistant without a contract, you've probably exposed yourself to, you've exposed yourself legally, and also you've exposed your work and also your boundaries. So it's important to have a contract in place. So contracts ensure that expectations between both parties are aligned and that your work and your time is protected. They are evidence that both parties have read and agreed to the terms and conditions. They show that you take your business seriously, and a lot of clients like to see this. And there's also no confusion from either party about timelines, payment, scope of work. So really it's the blueprint for your working relationship, and it really helps to set expectations from the beginning. So there's no confusion, there's no arguing. It's all written down on paper about how you're going to get paid, about how you're going to handle rush jobs, about how you're going to handle scope creep, which is important. So it's important to have all this stuff written down and agreed to. So the things that you would normally include in a contract would be, so this is like a typical clarification of both party names. You would outline the services to be provided. So if you are doing specialist work, then write it out, okay? If you are doing general admin, VA work, then describe it and give examples. This protects you from scope creep and allows you to quote separately for specialist tasks. So don't leave yourself open to kind of taking on any possible job they throw your way. Make sure you're protected by giving examples of the kind of work that you're going to be expected to be doing. And any additional requests you could potentially quote for separately, okay? So your contract would also include your rates, how you will bill or invoice, and the payment timelines, how often you will be billing. It will include a confidentiality sort of clause, propriety information, sort of how their personal information will be handled. We'll talk about cancellation or termination of the contract, the terms the agreement is effective from, and you can also include anything else around what your working hours are, how you will communicate with your client, what days you will be taking off and be available, how meetings will be handled, all of that kind of small stuff that really helps you set boundaries around your working day. And of course, there will be signatures from both parties. So there are tools that will help you create contracts that can be easily emailed to the client and also signed. So they don't have to print it out and sign it by hand. They'll be emailed to the client and they can sign digitally. Christina asks, do you think that a VA needs to hire a lawyer, at least on the beginning of her VA journey? I don't think you need to hire a lawyer. If you have a good, solid contract in place, and I'm actually going to give you a template that you can use and customize for yourself, and that's going to be available in the Learning Portal. So yeah, I have a template for a contract. So personalize it as you see fit. And by all means, share it with a lawyer friend or hire a lawyer to have a look over it, but it should be pretty rock solid. It's available in a Word format. So if you wanted, you can take that wording and put it in a tool like Dubsado and 17 Hats and have like a digital copy of it that can be signed digitally. So you could use contract tools like Dubsado, which is a client relations management software. 17 Hats is a client relation management software. They're like all-in-one tools where you can send contracts, invoices, manage projects. They're really, really cool tools. And Dubsado is free for up to 3 clients. It's so cool and makes your process like a whole bunch more streamlined. And you can also use HelloSign and DocuSign to send contracts. So, thing about contracts, you can watch Christina Scalera's training, like I mentioned already, on why you need a contract and the things that need to go into creating your contract. And that's available in the Learning Portal. But you can also download the contract template, which I've got available for you for free in the portal, and it's specific to virtual assistant work. So have a look over that and personalize it as you wish. Okay, now we're going to talk invoicing. How do you invoice? How do you actually physically make invoices, right? I know a lot of you have had this question before. So I would recommend that you use an accounting software that generates invoices for you. And I know PayPal makes invoices. I don't know who else, but PayPal definitely makes invoices, but I'm not a huge fan of PayPal's invoices. I would really recommend that you use an accounting software that links up with your bank account to generate invoices, because it just makes the whole process so much more streamlined. So when you use an accounting software to generate invoices, it just makes you look so much more professional. It sounds like really professional, branded invoices. And you can actually accept payment directly through the invoice. So there's like a button on the invoice that your clients can click, and they can either pay by PayPal or Stripe, and your payment will go right through, and you'll be notified as soon as your invoice is paid. So it makes it really easy for your clients to pay you, which means that you'll get paid quicker, right? You just want to make your client's life easier so that you can get paid quicker. Oh, Kaylin, you've had a good time with QuickBooks so far? Their invoices are so easy and they charge no fee, although for American bank accounts only. Oh, do they not charge a fee? Oh, that's fantastic. But they do, is it free or is it subscription, QuickBooks? Because I thought, okay, it's like it's $4 a month. Oh, that's good. That's good. And I was just going to say, so it's a streamlined process, and the software will also send automatic payment reminders to your clients, right? So you don't have to be that annoying person like, oh, why haven't you paid my invoice? It's kind of done for you. You don't have to be like sending those awkward emails. Ugh. So yes, some of the top accounting software that I would recommend, Wave is what we use, and it's brilliant. I love it. FreshBooks is one. QuickBooks, like Kaylin said, she uses QuickBooks. Xero is another one. So these programs, they link up with your bank account. So they also track your income and expenses. And you can also balance your books a lot easier with this software. And your accountant will love you when it comes time to do your taxes. All of your invoices and expenses and income will all be in one place. And you can categorize your expenses as well. And your income, so you can track sort of what kind of clients are bringing in the most money and what kind of tasks are bringing in the most money. So it really gives you a really good bird's eye view as to how your money, how you're making money, where it's going, and all of that. So like I said, there's like all-in-one tools that you can use. So contracts, bookkeeping, CRM, and more. And Dubsado and 17 Hats are two of, I think, the most popular sort of CRM tools, like all-in-one tools. But I would say that if you use one of these platforms, you should be aware that on top of their monthly fees, that they will also most likely take a small percentage of each transaction when you accept payment through them. So when you send an invoice through them, they'll usually take about 2.9% of each transaction, I believe. But I could be wrong because Kaylin says QuickBooks doesn't take. So I would just double check that. But most payment gateways anyway, so if you accept payment through PayPal, PayPal will take 2.9%. And Stripe also take 2.9% of every transaction. Okay, so QuickBooks takes 0. That's great. And is it like a direct, and this is for American bank accounts only, is that right, Kaylin? So is it like a bank transfer? Like when someone pays your invoice, does it go directly into your bank or does it go through PayPal? Because PayPal will take something, won't it? Okay, I'm just going to move on quickly to the next slide, which is a welcome pack. So you've sent your contract, which hopefully gets signed. Okay, Kaylin says, yep, and now that I think about it, the catch may be the person who's paying you also has to have QuickBooks. Oh, right, okay. Okay. That might be limiting a little bit if the person who's paying you also has to have QuickBooks. So it's a free bank transfer between QuickBooks people. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I'm just going to talk real quick about a welcome pack. I don't know if you guys have welcome packs, but so you've sent your contract. It's been signed. You've sent your invoice. It's been paid. And now how do you get started, right? Like how do you bring this person into your business? So a welcome pack is a really nice touch to send to your clients. It's really professional, it's really slick, and not a lot of people do it, but I think it really leaves a good impression when people do it. So it's kind of like a branded instruction manual for working with you. I've included a little example of what one might look like here. And I love the branding on this one. It's so on point. So what does a welcome pack include? So it'll include like a personal welcome note from you and just saying how excited you are to be working with your client. It'll include work expectations, so an outline of the project, the tasks at hand. It'll include your office hours, your invoicing process, how you will bill and when, how you will handle rush jobs, how you will handle referrals, and if you provide referral incentives, your business processes, how you will protect passwords, confidential information, a full list of services you offer. I think that is super handy because if your client ever needs something additional, they can always go to your welcome pack and see if it's something that you offer. You can also include your subcontracting process if applicable, and obviously your contact information, how you prefer to be contacted. So it really is everything they need to know in one place about working with you. And I know a lot of this information will be included in a contract, but I don't think people really look at contracts. They're not very easy on the eye. This is like a really easy to access document where they can see exactly how you work and what they should expect from working with you. And it's nice to send a welcome pack. It's a really nice touch because it displays professionalism. It eases the client into working with you. It tells your client how to start, and it makes a really great impression. And you can create a beautiful welcome pack in something like Canva. If you don't use Photoshop or Illustrator or InDesign or anything like that, Canva's free, and you can use that to make something really, really beautiful. So, calls. How do you set up your calls? We've talked about contracts, invoices, sending a welcome pack, and now it's time to get on a call because you need to plan how you're going to set about working for the month ahead. And I would suggest setting up a planning call. I think this was step 3 or 4 in the whole client onboarding process. So why should you set up a planning call? It builds a good foundation for the rest of your working relationship. It gives you a chance to plan for the month ahead. It gives you a chance to talk about and prioritize the tasks that need to happen first. It gives you a chance to get face-to-face to ask specific questions, address any concerns. And really, it just gives you a chance to see how you gel as a team. Because now you really are a team. They've signed a contract, they've paid an invoice, you guys are working together. This is it. So it's be interesting to see how that dynamic is for you guys. And I really love to see this, and I would recommend it. Be the one to suggest the planning call. Okay? I think it shows so much professionalism to take that initiative and be the one to suggest the planning call. A lot of people want to avoid calls because it's time consuming, but seriously, I think they are so powerful just to meet face to face with a person. And another thing I would suggest when you're kind of organizing calls is to create an agenda for the call, because it's so easy to get sidetracked and talk about all of the things. You want to stay on track and not waste anybody's time by creating an agenda for the call, okay? And I think your client would love that because it just shows how organized you are. So my favorite tools for scheduling calls are Calendly, which is free, and Acuity, again, which is free for 14 days. I don't know if they have a full free tier, but these are scheduling software. So they integrate with your Google or iCal calendars, and you can easily set your availability for calls for specific days, for specific times. So a client would literally just click on your scheduling link, and they can look at available slots in your calendar to book a time for you, a time with you. And it's so brilliant because the tool converts time zones. So they will show times in your client's time zone. And there's no back and forth about asking what time zone you're in and what time can you do. They can easily see your times in the scheduling link. So the tool will also send automatic confirmations and reminders. And you could also send like mini questionnaires before the call so that you can get that little bit of information you need so that you can have a really productive call. This is really good to do for discovery calls. If someone is booking a discovery call with you, just have like an initial 4 or 5 questions that they need to answer so that when you get on a call, you're in a really great place. You have all the information you need to have a really productive phone call. So you can ask things like, where are you at in your business? What are you struggling with? Like, what is your budget? Things like that. And you can also accept payments through like Acuity, like the paid Acuity account. So if you wanted to charge for your kind of strategy calls or meetings, you can do that really easily. So the top tools for actually doing the calls. My favorite is Zoom, which is what we're using right now. And obviously you can use Skype and Google Hangouts. But I totally love Zoom because as far as I'm aware, participants don't need to download like a software or anything. I think they can just click on a Zoom link and they're on the call. You can also record your calls on Zoom. And I'm not sure if this is on the free account or the paid account, but you can absolutely record your calls. And I've talked about this before, how you should always record your calls with your clients, with prospective clients, with discovery call people, just so that you're not stressing about taking notes on the call, so that you have everything on record and you can listen to the call afterwards and then kind of digest the information. You can also create personalized meeting rooms for each client. So the client can go to the same meeting room every time. And by meeting room, I mean like link or call ID. And you can also do screen sharing and also have chat windows like we have here. So that's available, I think, on all call platforms. So if you want to, what you can do now is review our module on how to nail client calls. So that's like a really cool module. We talked about this before on how to be really awesome on a call. Finally, project management. So you're going to be handling a lot of tasks for your clients, right? Maybe it's the same task, maybe it's a different task, maybe it's one big project, maybe it's lots of little projects. You're going to need a project management tool to house all of that information, all of those tasks, all of those deadlines. You're going to need it in one place so that nobody gets confused about what's happening and when. So why do you need a project management tool? I'm sure you guys mostly all use a project management tool. Let me know if you don't. And if you do, which one do you use? I'd love to know. So project management tool, me too, Kit. I love Asana. Why do you need a project management tool? So it allows you to visually break down your project so it's not this huge, overwhelming beast. You can break it up into smaller tasks with individual deadlines. You can collaborate on projects, so you can assign tasks and deadlines to different team members. Oh, Christina, it's brilliant. It will save your sanity. They're easy to use, so their user-friendly interface means that they're incredibly easy to use. Yeah, you can't go wrong. You can also share files and documents for a specific task all in one place, so you don't have to search through your emails to find you don't have to search through your emails to find any documents or whatever. You can also keep your projects on track, so you can create timelines and deadlines to keep projects moving forward. Sanity, what is sanity, Michelle? I know. You can also monitor. Yes, Asana is free. Christina, please go to Asana. Sign up for Asana and use it for your personal life, like your personal life. To manage your household, to manage your schedule, to manage your child, just to get a hang of it. It is so cool. You'll feel so in control of your life. Do it. So you can monitor projects and get a quick overview of how team members and clients are progressing with their tasks. So a lot of virtual assistants bring their clients onto Asana so that they can assign tasks to them. And a lot of clients will bring their VAs into their Asana. So it can work both ways, but it's really difficult sometimes for a client who doesn't use a project management tool to kind of bring them into Asana and keep them there. Some clients just love working in email and it's just like, just stick to Asana. Because really, a project management tool will keep you out of your inbox, okay? Because emails get lost and cluttered, and you can keep task-related conversations in one place. So you can have conversations within Asana about a specific task, and it's all in one place. It's brilliant. You can easily mark tasks as done, and there's no greater feeling than clicking that tick, I can tell you. It'll also integrate with your calendar. So whenever you set a task with a deadline, it can automatically link with like your Google Calendar, and then you can see how that fits in with your daily schedule. You can also create individual workspaces for different clients without having to log in and out of the software. And you can also automatically track your time within Asana. So Asana will integrate with a tool like Toggl, and you'll get like a toggle button per task, and you can just turn it off and turn it on whenever you're working on that specific task. Overall, a project management tool will help you manage your time, your bandwidth, and it will also keep you sane. If you love to-do lists, if you love ticking things off to-do lists, you must use a project management tool. So cool. So here's a little screenshot of Asana. This is what it would look like, Christina. You have your projects and teams on the left there. And within those projects and teams, you can set different to-do lists. And you can set the deadlines over there to the right. And within each task, you can have these kind of little descriptions, and you can have conversations within that task, and you can also attach files. You can have little comments, sort of little indicators that someone has seen the task or liked the task, and you know that they're on it. It's just incredibly streamlined and keeps everyone in the loop as to what's happening. Here's another view of Asana, and this is the boards, which is a lot like Trello. So Trello has boards like this, so the columns. And I love how this is laid out because you've got your backlog projects, you've got your projects that are ready to do, the ones that are in progress, and the ones that are done. So you can move them really quickly by dragging and dropping into each column. And all these little people are the people that the tasks are assigned to. And they're color-coded, and it's just beautiful. Love it. So how do you actually go about doing the tasks that you're delegated in a way that makes people love you? Usually where things go wrong and maybe you don't deliver what your client wants, it's usually down to miscommunication about the details of the task and the wider goal of the task. There's usually no confirmation about how and when it should be delivered. There's no clarification around how often you should provide updates on the project. And sometimes, and this is the problem most of the time, is that virtual assistants are too nervous to ask the questions they need to ask to do a good job. Okay, like how many people are guilty of that? You just want to look like you're completely on top of it, but by doing that, you're not on top of it. Yes, Michelle, thank you. You're not on top of it. You just want to look like you've totally got this, but you don't actually got it, and you're too nervous, and you don't want to look like weak and like you don't know what you're doing by not asking the right questions. You need to be asking the questions to get the information you need to do a good job, okay? I can't stress that enough. And as a person who hires virtual assistants, I love it so much when my VAs ask me questions about how to do something. Like, I can't stress this enough. I love it because I know that they care. I know that they're trying to do a good job. I know they want to be thorough. I know they need clarification. I know that I haven't done a good job of telling them how and when they should do something. So they're trying to get that information from me. And I love it when they take that initiative. So do not be afraid of asking the questions you need to do a good job. Okay? I cannot stress this enough. So whenever you're handed a new task, ask yourself these questions, and I'm going to create a printout for you. You can print this out. It's going to be in the workbook, and you can have these questions up on your desk just to make sure that you're asking yourself and your client all the right questions so that you can do a good job, okay? So whenever you're assigned a new task, ask yourself or your client these questions, okay? Do I know how to do this task? Do I understand the bigger purpose of this task? What tools will I need to complete this task? Do I have all the information I need to complete this task to the best of my abilities? Will I need to do research to learn how to complete this task? And what is the deadline for this task? That is key because clients always forget to set deadlines. I'm not even kidding. They say, I need you to do this. And then they don't say when they need it by, right? Who has ever been in that situation where they've been given a task and your client has not given you a deadline? So you automatically assume it needs to be done ASAP, right? Do not assume that, okay? You need to know the deadlines for projects so that you can manage your time better, okay? You need to know deadlines so that, because you'll have multiple clients at one point and you can't just drop another client to work on another client's work, okay? You need to manage your time and productivity correctly. So set deadlines. If your client doesn't give you one, ask them what the deadline is or suggest a deadline that works for you, okay? Don't be afraid to do that. And lastly, when you're assigned a new task, repeat it back to your client to ensure that you've understood it correctly. That is a small little thing that you can do to make sure that you're on the right track with your task, okay? Just repeat it back, write it back, just to make sure that you've understood correctly. And again, as someone who's worked with virtual assistants, I love it when they do this because I know that they're listening and I know that they want to get it right. And there's going to be situations where your client might ask you, to do something that you actually don't know how to do, okay? Which is fine. So just be honest about your abilities and show enthusiasm for the opportunity to learn a new skill, okay? You don't have to just kind of flat out say, no, I can't do this. If it's something that you've always wanted to do, if it's something that you want to add to your skill set, then be honest and just show enthusiasm that you want to help them, that you want to learn, that you want to take the time to grow your skills. And like I said, there's always somewhere where you can go to learn this new skill. Okay, there's Google, there's YouTube, there's Facebook communities. Seriously, go into a Facebook group and just ask your question. There are going to be so many people who will want to help you and who will offer a solution for you, okay? And then there's online course platforms like Skillshare, Udemy, and Lynda. If you ever need to learn a new skill, you can buy one-off courses, or there's a subscription model for one of them, I think. It might be Lynda, I'm not quite sure. But first, please use Google and YouTube, okay? Because there's so much free information out there. I'm not even kidding. So, how can you be a great person to work with? Everybody wants to work with great people, right? And what does it take to be that person that everybody loves working with? And really, it comes down to is it 6 things I've had here? Yeah, these 6 things, okay? Communication, okay? Communication is everything. Everything. And it all comes down to asking questions again. Be communicative, okay? Did I say that right? Communicative, yes. There's no such thing as too much communication, okay? Always keep clients updated with how projects are progressing, issues you're coming up against, any suggestions you might have to improve the task and the workflow. Just keep that conversation open. Just always be talking to your client, okay? In the method of communication that works for you, okay? I wouldn't recommend sending a Facebook message, sending a Slack message, sending an email, sending a Asana message. Choose one method of communication and try to stick to it. Otherwise, everyone's going to go crazy. I know, Michelle, you have a problem with, I think it's Voxer, where your client will just send you messages on Voxer. If that's your chosen method of communication, fine. But I would try and urge you guys to keep all of your communication through one or maybe 2 platforms, okay? So that you're not losing tasks and information and it's all over the place and you're trying to get it from, keep it concentrated to 1 or 2 methods of communication, okay? So again, number 2, ask questions. Always be asking questions, okay? Always be getting confirmation and clarity on things, please. You can never ask too many questions. It shows that your client that you care. And again, always be enthusiastic, okay? Be positive, okay? Your passion will rub off on your clients and they will see it and they will love it and they will love you, okay? Be enthusiastic, be positive, be optimistic. Be a solution provider, not a problem provider, okay? Don't always be the path to better, to easier, okay? And be curious. Learn how the tasks that you're doing fit into the bigger picture of their business, okay? Ask them about the results that they're getting. And this is really important for creating case studies for yourself for later on, okay? Always aim to do better. Always ask your clients, what can I do to make this easier for you? And always be professional, respectful, and helpful in your communication, okay? Think about how every bit of communication reflects on you. You always want to be positive and optimistic and enthusiastic. And keep those professional boundaries in place, okay? Michelle says, I've actually come to like it. She can say all she needs to say and I can go back and take notes. Awesome. She likes to talk so they can be long-winded, but her best thoughts have come through when she can just speak and get it off her chest and we edit later. That's perfect. If that is your preferred method of communication, then that works for you guys, then absolutely go with that. But I would recommend, if you can, to just keep it to like a Voxer and email, for instance, and not have things all over the place, because things will fall through the cracks and it'll just get a little bit overwhelming, I think. So, and I would also suggest to hold regular check-ins and reviews. And what I mean by that is meet with your client, okay? Face to face, like on video. Because the more you meet with your client, the stronger your relationship becomes, okay? You really want to cement your relationship. You really want to insert yourself as a key member of their team. And a great way to do that is through in-person meetings. Yeah, Christina, that's awesome. The client you talked to this morning loved recording me voice messages. That's a great way to communicate. If that works for you, definitely go for it. So when you hold regular in-person meetings, you're just really reinforcing your position as a member of their team, okay? It's really hard to either fire someone that you meet regularly in person, and it just helps you create that kind of friendship, kind of working relationship. So it shows that your clients that you're a collaborative team member. It's an opportunity to review your working relationship. So it's important to have those meetings where you have reviews, okay? Because it gives you space to address any concerns, to praise any achievements, to really assess how it's all going. So in addition to your like regular meetings, as to like task related meetings, it's good to have regular check-ins, okay? And again, as always, ensure that you have an agenda for your meeting to avoid time wasting. Nothing beats in-person meetings, and I totally believe that. If you can even meet your clients in person, that's even more powerful. So really, at the end of the day, what you want to do is to become indispensable. Okay, you want to be the person that knows how to do stuff in their business that nobody else knows how to do, or the person who does it better than anybody else can, because then you're becoming irreplaceable, or at least very hard to replace. Because at the end of the day, what you want is like a recurring customer, right? A recurring client, a retainer client, okay? We don't want to be looking for clients every other month. We want to have predictable income from the same clients every month, okay? And becoming indispensable is a huge, huge part of achieving that. So just quickly, we have like 10 minutes left. Essential tools in your business. Christina says, and when you leave, you don't provide a training. Okay, they might ask you to, though. They might ask you to. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly cover some essential tools that you might need to work with in your virtual assistant business. Yeah, they might ask you to provide a training. I'm actually in a position with a client now. I kind of fired them, I guess, in a way. So they're asking me to create a training, like a video training for the person who's going to take over me for the other virtual assistant. Obviously, I'm getting paid for that, but I fired this client. So I feel like it's my duty to do that, at least. Yeah, so they'll pay me to do the training and write up the instruction manual and do the video kind of walkthroughs. So that's fine with me. And I ended the relationship, so I'm fine with that. So some essential tools that you might want to use in your virtual assistant business. We've talked a lot about these already. I'm not going to go through all of them. They're all here if you want to use them, want to refer back to them, but I'm also going to include them in the workbook for Module 6, okay? And links back to them so you can easily access them. So there we have communication, Slack, Voxer, just two you can use, meetings, questionnaires. Yep, all this stuff. So you're going to have access to all this stuff, okay? So quickly, leveraging current clients to gain new ones. So how can you use the relationship you have with your current clients to get new clients and grow your business? Like we said before, a happy client is the best form of marketing. I don't know who said this, but it was someone really smart. A happy client is the best form of marketing because they're going to spread the word about you. They're going to refer you to their clients, okay? So how do you use your current clients to get more clients? You can get testimonials from them. You can make case studies from them, and you can also ask for referrals. And I think from the conversations we've had with most of my virtual assistant success stories, you'll notice that most of their clients come from referrals, okay? So this is a huge source of new clients for a lot of people. So testimonials, you need to get testimonials from your clients, okay? And when do you ask for testimonials? If you feel like you have impressed with your work, obviously you need to have done good work to be in a position to ask for testimonials. So just make sure that they've been happy with your work. And you can do it about, if it's a long-term client, I guess you can do it about 3 to 4 months into the relationship. I think that's a good amount of time to have really developed a good working relationship and to have a good body of work to talk about. And obviously when you offboard a one-off client, so even if it's a long-term client or if it's a client that you've only worked with on a single project, definitely ask for a testimonial as you're offboarding them. And really, testimonials are the best way to prove your value to prospective clients. Okay, there's that trust and that perceived value when a prospective client sees great testimonials. And Christina, I've seen how you used your testimonials on your Facebook cover page. That is brilliant, and that is absolutely how you should be using your testimonials. So how do you even ask for testimonial? Again, it's one of those awkward things that you just feel like you don't want to ask. It's like a little icky. But there's a template for you in the learning portal, an email template for how to ask for testimonials, okay? And here's some great questions to ask so that you can guide their answers a little bit so that they're giving you information that you can actually use. So you can ask them, what hesitations did you have about hiring me? That's a really great one. What was your favorite service that I provide? How has working with me as your VA changed your business? Are you happy for me to use your testimonial on my website or social media linking back to your website? And that's important to ask for that permission to do so. And you can always ask them if they would prefer to remain anonymous. Another way to get testimonials to use to brag about how awesome you are is to save your clients' feedback, okay? If they posted on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, if they've sent you an email that praises the work that you're doing, take a screenshot, save that, and then ask for permission to potentially use it on your website or on social media as well. And you want to be holding on to that client love and put it in a special folder that you can access easily for when you're feeling a little doubtful about your services. If you're feeling unsure about your business, just go to that folder and just soak in all that goodness that people have said about you. Okay, it's really awesome to have that. And some top tips. So when you're asking for testimonials, definitely ask for a photo to include with the testimonial, okay? That increases perceived trust. And if you're feeling brave, ask for a video testimonial. So Christina says, I'm waiting now for a new one from 2 weeks ago. This one will be the only one in Polish for my Polish website. No way for remaining anonymous. I prefer to put their names, company name, and positions. Absolutely. Definitely. If they're happy with that, absolutely. So use your testimonials whenever possible on your website, and your social media, and your welcome pack, and your portfolio, and your resume, and social media, okay? Like really talk about how awesome you are, because you're putting it out into the universe. People are seeing it, and they will be attracted to you. So really get those testimonials out there. Another thing to leverage your current clients, okay? Use every task, every project as a possible case study, okay? Every task that you do could be a huge win for you and your client. So make sure to record all of those, okay? Always record the details of those, okay? So always be asking your client for the results of your efforts, okay? And here's an example, and if Christina ever watches this, I've taken this from her, because Christina, the other Christina. So this is a really great example of a case study that you can use on your website to showcase what you've helped your clients achieve, okay? So let's say, sorry, my kids are home and they're going crazy. So you're asked by your client to create a database of 40 podcasts aimed at women, okay? So obviously she wants this database so that she can pitch for interviews on these podcasts, right? So that is the bigger goal of this task, and it's important that you're aware of this. So once you've done that, once that task is complete and some time has passed, ask your client how she got on with booking interviews. How many podcast interviews did she get? And if she has had success, there's your case study. You can say that you helped your client book X number of podcast interviews and get exposure to X number of her target audience, okay? You helped her do that. That is an amazing case study. And you're using precise numbers, and precise numbers signal tangible results. They're super powerful. And this whole case study is proof of the quality of your research and the results that you bring to your clients. Okay, so make sure that you view every task as a possible case study. And finally, referrals. Like I said before, referrals are key to growing your business because you've already built trust and value with your current client, right? So your client's recommendation to their colleagues, to their business partners, is going to be worth more than any sort of marketing you can do. It's the best marketing. So they will refer you to their trusted colleagues. Okay? This is why you want to do great work with every single client. You want to go above and beyond. You want to offer an amazing client experience because one client can lead to numerous others. How do you even ask for referrals though? Okay, so I'm going to create a template as well to ask for referrals. So you can stress how much you've enjoyed working with your client. You can mention key achievements and ask them if they know of anyone who could use your services. It's as simple as that. And you can even offer an incentive, which is quite effective, I think, for a lot of people. So for your current clients, you can say for any person that you refer my way and who books with me, I can give you a discount off the next package that they purchase with you. You can give them a percentage of the referred client's package. You can give them an Amazon or Starbucks gift card, or you can donate to a charity of their choice. So you're just giving them an incentive to send clients to you. And like I said, there's going to be an email template in the workbook for asking for client referrals. Really, everything we've covered today is about creating an amazing client experience, okay? You want to go above and beyond every single time, and you will never have to market your service. Christina, you said I've had 6 clients in total, thinking about posting case studies on my Facebook page. Do you think it's a good idea? Why not? Absolutely, why not? Definitely go for it. If it's something that you've achieved that's quite impressive, definitely go for it. So this is what we've covered. We've covered onboarding new clients, contracts, invoices, welcome pack, planning calls, all of that stuff. We've talked about doing the tasks in a way that makes your clients love you. We talked about how to be a great person to work with. We've talked about the essential tools every VA needs, and we've talked about leveraging current clients to grow your business. Do you guys have any questions on all of these things? Is there anything? Kaylin, go ahead. You have a quick question. Oh, I'll go back. You have to send a quote. Okay. This is a proposal question, which I didn't cover here. Somewhere in between an invoice and a contract. Yeah. Okay. So you have to send a quote. So, if you use Dubsado or 17 Hats, you can actually create proposals and quotes within those. Okay, so you've done the same task before, but what we're trying to avoid is tracking my time. Okay, so you want to create like a package around that task that you were doing. So if you know how long it takes you, can you just create like oh wait, what do you mean by quote? Christina, you said I had to do it too this morning. I created it in Canva, but it was quite challenging. Christina, do you mean like a quote, like a graphic quote? Oh, a proposal. I wouldn't use Canva for a proposal. You could, but Canva is not great for like when you use a lot of text. If possible, I would try to use a program like Dubsado, which is free for up to 3 clients. Yeah, do it in Dubsado. Or, alternatively, I send proposals and quotes in Word. seriously, just in Word as a PDF. I mean, they don't have to sign a proposal, so it doesn't need to be sort of fillable. In Google Docs, okay. The only thing I would say when you're sending in Google Docs, definitely send it in Google Docs, but make it view only, because you don't want them changing any of the pricing or the terms. That's the only problem with sending, like if you're going to send a Word doc or a, yeah, just create it in Google Docs and send it as a PDF. There was lots of text in the template and one image only, then it converted to a PDF. Is that in Canva? Okay. Okay, and that was challenging for you, Christina? I mean, honestly, you could just do it in Word or Google Docs like Kaylin did. It's like super easy to do. Or like use Dubsado, which is like templates for proposals and quotes. You were wondering how official quotes had to be. Oh, I don't, I don't think they have to be particularly official. It's just kind of outlining the tasks you're going to do and kind of the rates for each task. And then kind of like a total. So it doesn't have to be anything official, I don't think. I should have covered this today, to be honest. I should have covered this today. And I think what I'll do is create like a, probably in the slides that I turn into PDFs, I will probably include a section on proposals and quotes. And I'll maybe include like a proposal template that you guys could use. Yeah, I'll do that. I will do that. Okay, are there any other questions I can answer? So we've talked about onboarding new clients, doing the tasks in a way that makes your clients love you, how to be a great person to work with, the essential tools every VA needs, and how to leverage your current clients to grow your business and get more clients. So this is where you guys could take some action. So in the workbook, I've listed the essential tools for every virtual assistant that you might need in your business. There's a welcome pack template. There's an email template for asking for referrals. There's an email template asking for a testimonial. And there's also the questions to ask yourself when being assigned a task that you can print out. And then you're ready to go and create an awesome client experience. Awesome, guys. I'm so sorry I didn't have anything on proposals or grading quotes. I will have that stuff for you. Oh, thank you so much, Kaylin. You're so sweet. I feel like I'm just babbling the whole time. So when somebody tells me that it was good information, it kind of shocks me and also thrills me because I just feel like I'm babbling the whole time. I'm so sorry. And my voice is only just coming back. So today was a little sketchy. Thank you, Christina. Thank you so much, Christina. So yeah, this was it. Was there anything else that I didn't cover over the 6 weeks? Obviously proposals and quotes. I'm going to make a note of that so I can definitely include that on the next round. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have experts come in and train us and train all of us on how to use on different areas. So like marketing yourself on social media, using Canva, managing your time. I've already got experts lined up on all of these topics to kind of help you guys, okay? Thank you, Michelle. Your info is always useful. Oh, thank you. Oop, thank you so much. And Michelle, you gave me like the best testimonial. Totally like made me cry. Okay, so that's it for this week. And we have our hot seats on Wednesday. So if you guys want to just hang out, like we can just hang out, have our videos on, and just talk about our businesses, about clients, about getting clients, about all the stuff that you kind of want to talk about and want answers for. We're doing that on Wednesday. I think same time, right? Same time Wednesday. Yeah. So it'd be awesome if you guys were able to join that. Awesome, Christina. Great. What time is it? Okay. I'm over my time. So thank you guys so much again, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Yay! An SMG real life meetup. Oh, yeah, we should totally make that happen. I think most of us are in Europe, so it's not a crazy idea. Oh no, Michelle, you're not in Europe. But you will be when you move to Ireland. So we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. Okay, guys. Love you all so much. Love you all so much, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.